Alright, so I got it started to being a bipoint, or at least a rounded base, and that gave me a thicker edge, and it also got rid of some distance to the center where the saw marks are. And I did it strategically, so I actually made some platforms. And with the opportunistic flint knapping, usually the stone lets you know what it wants to be, and this is a real good example of that. So let's see if we can get this to work. Alright, that went flawless, that side. Now, we have two little spots to get rid of. Alright, one spot to get rid of. This might actually take 2 flakes. Better take this one first. Oops. How about right here? There we go. And one tiny little spot is barely even noticeable. That's all that's left. Alright. I'm happy. So, take off some flakes where it's too thick. Even it out. Alright, so this stone is now 100% saw mark free. And now the only flakes I really need to take are beauty flakes to match up some flake scars and make it look nice. So I'll go ahead and do that. Taking advantage of the opportunities the stone's given me. And I might not do any pressure flaking work on this, and I'll leave it kind of rough looking. But actually it won't look too rough, it'll look pretty good since it was a slab. This thing's getting real thin. Real thin. Being real careful not to hit too heavy of a platform and causing it to snap in half. Or a platform that isn't on the right side of the surface. Sometimes you really have to look hard for those opportunities. Kind of feel the surface of the stone if there's any step fractures in the way. Feel the convexity if it's going to support a good clean flake. The tip is a little thicker than the rest, so just focus on that now. Alright, so the rest I'm going to pressure flake actually. So I don't want to risk dealing a wrong blow to this thing. This is kind of how I learned how to do it. I was shown how to do it in the hand, but I couldn't do it. So I started to flint knap on my leg, and it worked out a lot better. I can apply a lot more leverage this way, and I find I can get a better angle too. And at this stage of the game, I don't do any abrading. There's still some places where platform is left, and places that obviously need a good flake. And I'm constantly looking at the edge to see what opportunities I have. Some of them go dud like that one did. And the way I use my copper pressure flakers is I use them just like antler, and I grab onto the edge just like you would antler. So, you know, sometimes I can't really feel the difference when I'm using both of those tools, antler pressure flaker and the copper one. A lot of people hone their copper tips to almost lethal points. I don't really do that. I leave them really dull. Alright, now the edge work. You can see we're not quite symmetrical. So my edge work shapes the piece and gives it an edge. So now I'm getting rid of any platform that's left, and only that. If I need to take more than the platform to even out the piece itself, I'll do so, but usually that ends up in being a really messy flake scar pattern, and I try to avoid that. I try to get it so as symmetrical as I can in the earlier stages. And you also don't want the edge to crush when you're doing the final edge, because that makes it kind of messy looking too. But, you know, sometimes you can't avoid it, and you know, as long as you don't do it too much, it's fine. It also results in a not as sharp of an edge as taking a clean flake that removes the platform. Alright, so I'll call that side done. And sometimes I find a nail notcher really useful in doing the final edge. It's a lot more accurate. Sometimes I end up with a sticky edge, it's so sharp. And I can also get rid of any shark's teeth and bring the edge to absolute center. And this puts little tiny serrations in the edge and gives you a really sharp edge, especially with obsidian. Yeah, that's incredibly sharp. So that's why I like nail notchers. I also use them for notching. And in a later video I'll show you that process. Alright, so for the final touch, I'm going to grind the base. You can also work on symmetry doing this too, as far as the base goes. And do it both ways, because sometimes the shark's teeth don't want to come off in one direction. Alright, so look at the overall symmetry. It's not too bad, but there's a spot or two that needs some attention. But for the most part, I'm going to call this done. So, let me show you guys what I got. Alright, so I'm going to have some more knapping videos hopefully. Like I said, I hope you guys make some requests and I'll pay attention to them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.